You know the drill for making money online, right? You gotta create endless content, build a huge audience, probably spend a bunch on ads. But what if I told you there's a way to just skip all that? Today, we're diving into a system that claims to do exactly that by totally flipping the script. Okay, let's just get right to it. This is the central question, the almost unbelievable promise that this whole thing is built on. Getting clicks from people who are ready to buy without ever posting a single video or photo or anything? I mean, that sounds like it breaks every rule in the book, which is exactly why we've got to take a closer look.
And boom, there's the number that makes you stop and pay attention. Almost $9,000. And not just once, but as a recurring monthly income. Now that's the kind of result they're promising, and it sets a pretty high bar for what we're about to investigate.
So, is it really possible? Can you get traffic without that constant soul-crushing grind? Let's break down this thing called the Big Redirect. We'll look at the claims, how it supposedly works, and the little details you need to know, all based on the materials out there. This right here, this is why it's so appealing. On the left, you've got the hamster wheel we all know. Churning out content, praying something goes viral, maybe throwing cash at ads. But on the right, you have this radical promise. No content, no ad money, and a setup that takes just 10 minutes. You can see why that would grab the attention of anyone who's just tired of the old way. All right, so what is the Big Redirect, really? Let's pull back the curtain on the system itself and the guys who created it, Tom E. and Max Gerstenmaier, to really get how it's supposed to operate. So here's the core idea. The Big Redirect is sold as a system that takes advantage of what the creators call a glitch or a loophole on YouTube and Instagram. The whole point is to legally siphon off clicks from content that's already popular and redirect that traffic over to your links. So you're not creating traffic, you're just redirecting it. Okay, the concept is pretty wild, but how do you actually do it? Well, the sales pitch boils it all down to a super simple three-step method. And they make it sound incredibly easy. First, you set up these things they call redirection herbs on YouTube and Instagram, which supposedly takes about 10 minutes. Step 2, you unleash the system, which sounds very dramatic. And then step 3 is, well, the clicks just start getting redirected to you. The whole pitch is that this is a set it and forget it deal that just works for you 24/7. A simple process is great, but the big question is always, does it actually work? What are the results? So let's look at the actual performance numbers they're sharing in the review materials. And here's what they claim. According to their sources, this system pulled in over 5,400 buyer clicks in just 1 month. And that traffic, they say, is what turned into that massive $8,900 recurring income figure we saw earlier. So they're drawing a straight line from these clicks to the cash. Okay, but you and I both know that nothing's ever that simple, right? It's super important to look past those flashy numbers. So let's get into both the good stuff and the potential gotchas to get a really balanced picture here. The claims on the left are, let's be honest, amazing. No content creation, super beginner friendly, no ad spend needed, awesome. But the reality check on the right is just as crucial. The whole thing hinges on a platform loophole. What happens if that gets closed? And they're very clear in the disclaimers. Results are not guaranteed, and it all depends on you, the user, actually taking action. So when you put it all together, the big promises and the important warnings, we can get to a final verdict. And really, the most important question to answer is this. Who is this system actually designed for? Well, based on everything, they're targeting a very specific person. This is for you if you absolutely hate, and I mean hate, the idea of creating social media content. It's for you if you're a total beginner who needs something simple. It's for you if you have zero budget for ads, and if you're looking for a side hustle that can grow. If you're nodding along to these points, then you are their target audience. You know, this quote really sums up the whole philosophy. Whether it's the right fit for you or not, the idea is positioned as something completely new. It's an approach that tries to find a way around the traditional and, frankly, exhausting ways of getting traffic. It really is trying to flip the entire script. And that really brings us to the final question, which is one for you to think about. It's not just about whether the system works. It's about what you're trying to build. Are you looking for the fastest shortcut to get clicks, or are you trying to build something else? Figuring out which path is the right one for your side hustle, well, that's the real redirect. Thanks for watching.